Jane Pembroke is cooking breakfast in the kitchen of her new home on Delaney Road on this April morning in 1914. Her husband Henry, fleeing the city of Harborview and seeking to establish a lilac sanctuary, purchased most of the south tract of the Gaumont farm from Nathaniel Gaumont, who had at the time held power of attorney over the land holdings and affairs of his incapacitated father, the Reverend Gaumont. The old Reverend vehemently opposed any sale of his lands and has vowed savage revenge on Henry Pembroke and his lilacs. Annex, the continuing story of a peculiar bend in the avenue. Traffic goes north, traffic goes south. The streetcar runs between, and all we can do is try to keep up. Henry Pembroke, come to breakfast at once. It's very nearly ready. There's no deliverance from cold scrambled eggs.
Never fear, Jane. This is one breakfast that shan't go cold.
I should certainly hope not. It's certainly not our very first morning here, but it's the first time we've had a properly turned out kitchen and table. It's worthy of celebration. Oh, Henry, the house is lovely. Just lovely.
It had to be. Are you happy, darling?
I give you my reply, dear, when you eat your eggs before they go cold.
My good woman, you spoil my appetite and your own by moving about so. Be seated and have two, by all means.
In good time, Henry. I was thinking about the children. There are 2 empty chairs at this breakfast table.
Those chairs will be occupied soon enough. Diana and Sophie will be coming home for a visit. We'll hear all their news and walk the grounds. Won't they be amazed at what their parents have been up to in their dotage?
I do believe they will be. But, Henry, there's something more. Ever since we came here to this place.
What is it, Jane?
A sense of something. A foreboding. Henry and Jane Pembroke have come to halfway there and planted their lilacs in order to escape the city and embrace nature and its more profitable permutations. But has their new beginning led them to an avenue of danger? And what of Jane's early morning foreboding?
A sense of what now?
A sense of foreboding. That something awful is coming down the lane.
Don't you mean to say, coming down the road? We live on a road, not a lane.
Do not joke, Henry Pembroke. My mother, God rest her soul, she often had senses and impressions when her family faced trials and tragedies. Mother had a way of knowing things were going to happen to those that she loved.
Your mother was, I recall, a voracious imbiber of ghost stories and witch tales, all of which I also recall she most fervently believed in and filled your childhood head with.
My mother was a woman to look wickedness in the face and call it by its real name, and her prophecies were to be taken seriously. Prophetic is what I feel now. A sense that no matter how lovely this house you built me and this place where we've come to live, that it might harbour something that could destroy us.
Don't fall victim to your mother's ancient superstitions. This is 1914, and we know far better, you and I. Next you'll report seeing a shade in the cellar or a ghost in the noonday sun among the greenhouses, a vampire on the veranda and witches near the wash line.
I've seen no ghosts. It's merely the sense that at any moment, day or night, something could come right around the corner, and it's something that means us harm. Someone in our family.
Jane, I swear to you that I have brought you to the safest place of which I know. This bend in the road holds only glad tidings for us.
What I fear is no face, no name, no body. It simply is.
You speak in riddles. Tell me plainly that which you fear.
No riddles. What I fear is an impending tragedy.
You're worried that our lilac sanctuary is a venture doomed to failure. Don't be. I know lilacs and I know business. We're sure to prosper. Have faith in this new world, my dear wife. Perhaps we are too lonely here. We haven't even hired household servants, and the hands are a motley crew. I'll invite Nate Gaumont to dinner.
And his father, the Reverend, will he join?
His health, I've been told, does not allow for social calls. He's a very old man, past 80 years of age, and I recall that he was very near death when we bought this land last fall. Nate said that the old man recovered enough that he has regained control of his own affairs. Hard not to admire the old codger for his mettle.
Perhaps he will live forever.
I should hope that were not the case, Jane. Not for the Reverend Gaumont, and not for any of us. I do believe that poor devil Nate had made his peace with the Reverend's passing and is finding the resurrection less than divine.
You mean to say that Nathaniel Gaumont wishes his father dead? And you scoff at my premonition of earlier?
What I mean to say is that Nate has always been dominated by the Reverend since childhood. The old man's death could set Nate free, give him a chance to make friends, to take part in the world, to have a wife, children, and a family, no longer forced to be at the beck and call of his father.
In spite of all that, perhaps once the Reverend is fully recovered, we could make his acquaintance. I mean, it'll be good for him to have fellowship with his new neighbours. Poor old gentleman.
We just might, or we just might not. The Reverend is a very imposing man, of no small legend in these parts. He's a colorful figure, and if the people of this region don't uniformly love him, then they do seem to uniformly fear him. Myself, I can't relate. I've never encountered him.
What legends?
They say he cheated death on the high seas, that he spent years dwelling in jungle and desert, that he made his fortune along the way and returned here a wealthy and rather ruthless man. Some old-timers have even told me to regard myself carefully, being so close to the Gaumont farm. They say that Gaumont wants his land back, the South Tract, and that he was angry at Nate for selling it to us, and that he's planning to take it back by any means necessary.
Henry? By any means necessary? My foreboding.
Merely local gossip, Jane. The man has no standing to do any such thing. Nate handled the sale, and it was entirely legal. We have nothing to fear but a shoddy lilac crop next year, or our girls removing with the circus sideshow. Anyway, it's difficult to separate the man from the myth. I suspect that Nate struggles with it as well.
And who might that be? One of the Annes? Or the Reverend Gaumont, back once again from the grave and searching out our breakfast?
I married a fanciful woman. Why don't we open the door and find out? Why, it's Nathaniel Gaumont. Good morning, Nate. We were just speaking of you. Step inside, won't you?
Thank you, Hank. Good morning, Mrs. Pembroke.
I have told you at least once to call me just plain Jane. That's what good neighbours do.
Very well. I'll call you Jane. Good morning, Jane.
You'll have to join us for breakfast, Nate. Pull up a chair. My wife has provided quite the table for us.
While I appreciate the invitation, I cannot stay as I'm here on business and Father will miss me shortly. He's resting at the moment, and it allowed me to slip away unnoticed.
I see. What brings you here this morning?
A dire warning. You are in grave danger.
Next time on Annex, will the Reverend Gaumont carry through on his threats to take back his land and have revenge on his enemies? And does Nathaniel's warning have any connection to Jane Pembroke's sense of foreboding and her fear that misfortune hovers above her family? Find out next time on Annex.